How to use AI to make extra money every month. All right. We're going to keep this very, very, very simple. Okay. In some other videos, I've talked about the 3 pillars of AI. Okay. For me to get started, I want to choose a pillar. All right. Essentially, I'm choosing a service or something that is going to be helpful to a small business, right? To a local small business. So the 3 pillars of AI, that I've been breaking them down, are brand, services, and people. Okay. And let's look at each one of these. So brand is, I put AI built here because I found that just a lot of the things that we would offer in the brand piece are built by AI, right? For example, websites, right? We talk about a lot here about using AI built websites as our kind of core front end offer to local businesses, but other things that might be in here might be graphic design, a logo or something, right? And or creatives or something. And AI, of course, can build that. So a lot of things that AI builds are found in the brand. The next piece is services. Okay. And I put this as again, nothing to memorize or anything. It just kind of helps frame the kind of things that are in these categories. Is AI guided typically, right? And, for example, like review management. It's not necessarily doing the exact work. There's still a little bit of work that I'm typically doing, but AI is guiding most of it, whether it's creating, for example, review management, right? We've shown the review management funnel that you guys all have access to, that is AI built and AI kind of run. And then message marketing, for example, right? The email and text messaging campaigns, right? We may have AI create those emails for us, create those texts for us. If it's Facebook ads, right, as a service, we may have AI give us offer suggestions, give us creatives for our Facebook ad campaigns and such and so on. So it's typically stuff that AI is helping to guide us through the process by adding in things for us, but we still finish the execution on it. And then we have people, right? And this category of AI, this pillar, right, is typically it's AI operated. It's things that we can implement for a business and AI will do all the work, right? And run it on a kind of continuous operation. For example, an AI receptionist, right? Right. And again, so people is essentially replacing what a person would do in a business using AI. And so a great example of that is an AI receptionist, right? Someone who can, well, for example, Kate, follow up with those HVAC leads that you guys are getting versus a real person wasting their time. AI receptionists can help set appointments. Basically, again, people, something that would that a person would typically do, but AI can do it much cheaper and most of the time much more efficient than a person can. And a lot of these people, right, these AI receptionists and AI workflows, these are 24/7, right, where a person couldn't do that. And so in the end, these are the 3 pillars that our AI agency, if you will, we're really focused around these areas. And these are the areas in how we help a local small business, right? So bottom line is, if I want to start making money with AI, it's a matter of picking a pillar to get started with. What am I going to offer these businesses, right? Then I want to find a business that I can sell my service to, sell my product to, right? And so there's 2 places where I can go and find businesses that I can easily offer my AI services to. Well, we talk about this a lot. I can start, and probably should start, with the people already asking for help. Literally, the people have said, hey, I need help with this thing here. Here is money. Can someone take this money and do the thing for me? They're already asking. I don't have to guess. I don't have to guess if they have money. I don't have to guess if they have a need. They're already telling me the need. Okay. So Upwork, right? Computers Reach, Upwork, Freelancer, Guru, even things like Thumbtack. These are places I can go where people ask for help already. Business owners are already coming there with money asking for help. And then I have a second category, which is pretty much everything else. Not necessarily everything else, but a second category that I'd focus on is the high probability need, right? The best place that you can go, in my opinion, to find the people that have a high probability need that this method also has a lot of scale, which means I can tap out and max out the people asking for help, because I just, that's me waiting on people asking for help, which there's a lot, but there's still a limited number, versus the high possibility need or high probable need is me going out there to find people that fit that category. And the amount of people in that category is a massive amount of those people, right? It's seemingly never ending because there's always new businesses starting every day. Okay. The best place to go is Google Business Profile. I can literally go in any city, in any niche, and just get a list of businesses pulled up. And again, AI can help me with both of these things, but these is where I would find a business, right? So after I pick my pillar, picked what it is I'm going to offer, this is where I'm going to go to find a business. Now, I want to typically have a structure to keep things organized and a process for me to follow. Okay. I always break this down as the Baby Yoda strategy, right? And it looks just like this, right? I'm going to start with a foot in the door offer, typically offer that on a trial basis. And then all I need to do is present that trial. Hey, here's the service done for you, the thing that done for you. Do you want to buy it? And then I'm just closing the trial, right? Oops. That's all I need to do. I'm not trying to sell anything else. I offer them something. There's a foot in the door, and then I close that deal. Okay. That's where I collect the money for that thing. And then after that, I just sell them another AI pillar. That's it. That's my process. Now, we've typically looked at this as the best strategy that we recommend starting with is leveraging the brand piece here. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean I can't use one of the other pillars if the opportunity presents itself. We typically have been recommending starting with the brand piece, specifically the AI built website, right? The reason why it's very simple to execute, and it's something that any business, basically all businesses on the planet, have thought about at some point in time in their business journey. After a business picks their business name, after a business owner decides essentially what it is that they want their business to be, you know what? I'm going to open a gym. All right, cool. One of the first things they do after they pick their business name, that's usually what people do first, and I'm going to call it, Jason's Gym. One of the first three things typically on their to-do list is to get a website, whether they build it or have someone else build it. But a website is just something that is inherent to all business owners in terms of their knowledge. They just automatically know it. Now, how to run a business is taught nowhere. Okay. Now, but there's a million books. And back when I started, 2006, I was reading a ton of books on how to start a business so that I could open one the next year when I got out of the military. And that was it, right? I had taken business courses in college, even marketing, but it didn't teach you any of this stuff. It didn't teach you how to market a business. It didn't teach you how to start a business, like the actual steps and what it meant. It was all big picture type stuff, right? So what I'm getting at is business owners, just because someone decides to start a business doesn't mean they magically have all this business and marketing knowledge. Okay. But the funny thing is, just because of business and people's awareness of it, getting a website is something that they do know that they probably should do. Okay. Versus, say, Facebook ads. It's not in their natural thinking order that they need to set up Facebook ads when they're getting their business going, or think about SEO, or focus on getting reviews, right? It's not in their natural progression of thinking when they're starting a business. Okay. But getting a website is. So knowing that, we know business owners, regardless of what they think about any other service or any kind of thing out there, they are aware that a website is important to their business. So we want to start with something that there's less friction, instead of having to convince them to get Facebook ads or start a text marketing campaign. We want to say, hey, here's a website for you. Now, we don't typically offer, unless they're asking through like Upwork or something, we typically are not focused on brand new businesses who don't have a website, because that would involve trying to find them, and the ways of trying to reach out and contact them aren't worth it, because you don't need to do that. Because here's the thing. I have Computers Reach, Upwork, for people asking for a brand new site if they don't have one. Though I can find them there. They come out of the woodworks. I ain't got to go find them. 2, a lot of businesses, they just get a website up initially, whether it's they paid someone super cheap, or they built something like GoDaddy Website Builder, or even if they got a professional website. But eventually, business owners tire of their website, or the initial website just wasn't functionally worked then, but they need more functionality now, or they want upgrades now that they've been established as a business owner and a business, right? So a lot of times we're able to, and most times, most of your clients are going to be businesses that already have a website. So it's not about finding people that don't have a website. And that's the beautiful thing about this. So I already know that business owners already know that they need a website, and it doesn't matter whether they have one or not. They're open game for me. Okay. And so we know the need is there. So the need is already there. The execution is another huge benefit of this, because back in the day, it would take a long time to build a website. You definitely wouldn't want to offer a website or build a website for free. Okay. But times have changed, and we have our good friend AI, and AI literally builds our website in minutes, as I've demonstrated multiple times, and plenty of other trainings and videos. In minutes, I can have a professional business website regardless of my experience level. If I know how to type, I can build a website. In fact, AI will build it for me. I just tell it what kind of, I can literally say, build me a website for a local gym in Denver, Colorado. And it will build it. Okay. So it's a need, and it's easy to execute. And I can price it right because, and I have a pricing advantage too, because most websites over the history of time have ranged for a local small business anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. I know of websites that have been way more expensive than that for just a local business. I'm not even talking about some big corporation. I know business owners that have paid way more than that range for what we would call just a normal looking website. We can build that same website in minutes, and using software that is costs us less than $100. In fact, if we use something like Lovable, which we talk about all the time, I can build it for free. So I can strategically price my website anywhere from $500 to $3,000 and easily show the value, and stacked up against anything else out there that they typically have seen or gotten quotes on, or even what it cost them to get their initial website. You're way more competitive than that. So it allows us to get a decent amount up front. It's just a one-time, right? It's a one-time cost. I can get a decent amount up front to start off this process. So I'm not like doing something for free and maybe it's a service that's $100 a month or something. I won't complain if I can nail something like that on the front, but this just gives us a lot more leeway because of all the other factors I already talked about, but the pricing is great too. So even if I get nothing else from this client, I've gotten a nice hunk of money to put in my pocket to move on. Okay. So we typically talk about the AI built website here. All right. So let's just look at that, right? So we have the AI built website. So I have my pillars, right? So again, all I did was pick a pillar. So in this case, we're going to say we're going to start with the AI built website. And then I'm going to find a business to offer that pillar. So in this case, we have to start. We can go to a place like Upwork where they're already asking for help and find people asking for a website or a website redesign. Okay. And I can just start there. I don't even have to worry about the Google Maps, but I could go to the Google business profile, Google Maps, and I could look for businesses that don't even have a website listed. They will have contact information though that I could reach out to them. Right. But I can start easily with where the people are raising their hand asking for help. And I can get easily a $500 to $3,000. Understand there's people that have sold these websites that are selling these upwards close to $10,000, right? $5,000 to $10,000 range. Okay. In the end, it's just based on your confidence level. But when you're just getting started, I recommend starting the low end until you get a website or two under your belt, and then you can progress that up. But I can easily fall in the $500 to $3,000 range for this. For a couple services, right? I have two services that are a nice leeway, a nice segue from getting the website. Because remember, I try to sell the website, I build it, show it to them, sell it to them, and then offer them more things. Well, I can easily pivot into the services, right? Into the services. I don't know why I can't draw an S here. With one of these two that are highly effective, very quick visual results, something like review management, helping a business get more positive reviews online. That's an easy $200 a month. These are minimum pricing right here. You can definitely get more. I can easily get $197 a month for that. And then something like a message marketing that is very easy to execute, high ROI, $297 a month, right? Message marketing, remember, is an email marketing campaign and a text marketing campaign to the same person, right? It's a list of people. Each of those people, we're going to send an offer to them via email and a text. Hit them two ways, okay? And that's a service that produces both of these provide a very quick result. It's very visual. And again, nice price point to get started in there, to have some extra reoccurring monthly money. And then something like an AI receptionist under the people, right? Understand there's a lot of scale. There's a lot of flexibility and customization that can be done with this, but you can easily have an AI receptionist rocking and rolling for a business anywhere between $400 to $2,000. Oops, why is this so big? Okay. So with my plan of attack, right? I get my foot in the door with the website. And then once I'm in, I can now easily start pivoting. All right, hey, cool. Now you got the website. What are you doing currently for marketing? What are you doing to bring eyeballs and new customers in to see your new website, into your business? Are you doing any kind of advertising? Do you have any shortfalls in your business? Do you have anything that's costing you money inside your business that you're leaking money? Because if so, I offer marketing and other AI solutions. I offer AI marketing and people solutions that can help essentially advertise your business and help your business run more efficiently and save money and make more money. Right. If you're open for a discussion, we can have a quick talk about that. So it's an easy pivot from the website in to me essentially doing a CQI to figure out what other things that they need help with, what are they doing, what are they not doing, where I can then recommend services and people, right? Those two pillars. And by doing this process, one client, again, I'm looking at $500 to $3,000 one time. And then a couple marketing services and an AI receptionist at the low end, I'm around $1,000 a month, all the way up to like $2,500 a month, just from one client. And that's the power of this. So the cool thing is because the website piece is the lead off, it's the foot in the door, and it takes just minutes to build. This allows me to, whether I work full-time, part-time, I have 20 family obligations a day, it doesn't matter because I can do it 24/7. I can go to a site like Upwork that's 24/7 and I can build the website 24/7 and send my proposals in. Again, I can have AI build those proposals for me, right? My Upwork proposals or any cold email scripts or cold calling scripts I want to use if I'm using the Google Business Profile method. But again, just focusing on where they're already raising their hand, asking for help, I can do that 24/7, bang out a website. I can bang out multiple websites. If I have 8 projects that are valid on Upwork, I can bid on 8 projects in the middle. And then, oops, of course I bumped my message popped up, tried to close it and cause chaos with all the windows here. Bottom line is I can do that at any time of the day. And the website piece, I can easily handle that. And if I didn't have time to do the next piece, it's okay. Because once I close the deal with the client, they're a client. So it opens up opportunities for future conversations. So maybe I'm working too many hours and I have too many family obligations and too many things going on. I can still do this piece. And then once that deal is done and closed and handled, I can partner up with someone else in the meantime to come in and handle this other piece. Whether that's the whole meeting to sale, to fulfillment, or maybe I do the meeting, find out what they need and get someone else to fulfill for me. One of the other benefits of AI and leveraging AI is it's very easy and seamless to have other people do the work. Meaning there's not a lot of skill drop off between people when they're leveraging the tool and following this strategy and executing these specific things. Meaning you can partner up with someone else in the group who has more time to handle this piece. And there's plenty of profits built in. For one, you still can get all of this profit. And then even getting a percentage of this profit where you're not having to do the work, you're not even having to close the deal, right? So with AI and with the strategy that we've been showing you and just showed you today, and with these specific pillars, it's super easy to get started, start making money on top of whatever else is you're already doing in your life. And then slowly snowball and build this, because we just looked at one client. Well, guess what? Once you have one client, you go on until you get 2 clients. Then you go on until you get 3 clients. You're just stacking this up. And even at $1,000 a month extra, by offering a couple cheap solutions, they just happen to add up to 1,000. How many clients would it take to replace your day job? Again, that's not even counting the one-time money you get. Because if I close a deal and get $1,000 for a website and then close $1,000 a month in marketing services, well, one of those months I got $2,000 potentially, right? From the website and the services. But What if I got a client every month? Just one client, right? Well, every month I'm getting a website sale and I'm stacking reoccurring services. But how many clients would it take? Just forget about the one-time website. That's your foot in the door. That's the very important piece. But just think about the marketing, the monthly reoccurring services stacking on top of each other. At $1,000 a month, how many clients would it take to replace your day job, right? How many clients would it take to cover your car bill, your cell phone, your rent, your mortgage, right? Even if I didn't sell a recurring marketing service, right? I closed a $500 website. What would an extra $500 a month do for you? Does that cover your car payment? Cover your phone bill? It's like you get those things for free now, right? So it's all fine and dandy to have big goals. I want to make $10,000 a month. I want to be making 6 figures a year. It's fine and dandy to have that. And we definitely encourage you that. I want you to reach for your full potential. But I want to show and highlight and make sure that you remember that it doesn't just start. You don't go from 0 to that. You have to slowly build it up. And this is an easy process to follow for you to start getting the snowball rolling. This is how you get that momentum started so that you can hit $10,000 a month. You can hit 6 figures a year, right? It all starts with a simple process like this to follow. And that's it.